Hey guys, welcome to Cars and Health Bars. On today's episode, we're going to be getting you caught up on what we've been up to the last couple weeks, and also going to be asking this pile of Q&A questions we have on the gaming topic, or gaming conversation, I guess. But that being said, guys, let's get right into it. Well, I was kind of solo epping it up last time. There's been a lot that's happened since we kind of both been on here. I want to get your side of the story on what happened to your LS3 because I kind of touched on it a little bit in the solo episode, but I wanted them to get it from you, the mechanic.
Nothing happened. It's all fine.
Are you sure we're not trolling? Like, it actually happened, right?
Yes. Yes, we are not trolling. I am not driving my car. Yeah, it's crazy. It's been a while now. I just haven't talked about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm working on it Saturday. But don't know if I'm gonna fix it.
So for the people who doesn't know us personally, I guess you can kind of get into like what happened as far as like going out to lunch, everything being fine until it wasn't.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much like you said. Well, first I stopped to get gas. I'm like, damn, I need some E. So I fill it up on E. Start it, and the oil pressure sensor reading nothing. It don't sound like it though, so even though the gauge said 0, I just figured the sensor went out. So I'm gonna give me some Chick-fil-A. I was like, I done been through this. I ain't scared of seeing 0 on that.
Yeah.
And it sounds like the valve train just has like no oil. It's just every fucking valve rattling, clattering, just no oil pressure clearly. So I pull over, check the oil, got oil, look under it. I don't have a window in my block. I ain't leaking none. So I'm like, well, it's gonna make it to Ford, so it's just across the road. But I was like, I'm gonna drive it, I don't care. So take it into Ford, shut it off, and within a minute I go back over there and start it, and it's reading 0 because it did build pressure up finally, but it was reading lower than normal. So I couldn't tell if it was a bearing issue or pickup tube O-ring. What, I didn't know. So then what was it, that night you stayed with me? And then...
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because, I mean, this is my side of the story, which, you've heard, but I thought for the people who missed that episode, I think I was at home baking for my wife's work, and I had some muffins and stuff left over. I was like, hey, Jordan, I gotta come to Bowling Green. You think I could swing by? And you're like, well, yeah, I don't know how much longer we're gonna be. I'd hate for you to waste your gas. So this is at like 5 o'clock, maybe 6 o'clock in the afternoon. I was like, oh no, it's good. I gotta go to the pet store anyways. And you're like, all right, nice. So we end up leaving at like what, 2 or 3 in the morning.
That's always how it is if you work with me after hours. I swear, it's like me and Tyler. Like, oh, we just gotta put a transmission, pull it, do a clutch. Yeah, about the same story there. We left at 3 in the morning because the Jesus clip on this slave cylinder was missing, and then we finally found it, and it's broke or something. I can't remember, but the Jesus clip did not hold.
I'm kind of glad we did stay, because there were times where like Tyler would jump in, like especially trying to get that starter on, like that you were just like over it, and I don't blame you, dude. Starters, like, your arms get tired, like one bolt won't line up, or neither one of them will. It's just like you just get mad and aggravated. And of course, you're mad. You're not thinking right, and Tyler just comes and gets it in like 2 seconds.
It wasn't even that. It wouldn't. It's just like it's already this late, and you're not behaving, and you done blew up on me. So yeah, I'm a little frustrated, but I mean, I don't get mad too easy. So
I thought I wasn't gonna be able to talk you out of driving your car home. I'm like, oh god, homie's gonna murder it on the way home.
I still could if I wanted.
Man,
I really don't. Like, you think I care?
Yeah, basically that's what I guess. Like, I think it's technically been since the
2 weeks.
The You Laugh You Lose thing, since we've had like an episode together. Maybe,
yeah.
I don't know. I think we did we did like a ranking episode.
Oh yeah, we did. Yep.
Let's see. Other than that, I did want to talk to you about. So I have a coworker, of course, building a LS Swap Ford Ranger, and he's super super new to everything. He's trying to learn all he can, and I mentioned to Jordan that I would say he relies pretty heavily on Richard Holdner for information, and you kind of had a very valid, understandable point about Richard Holdner. Yes, he does do all this dyno stuff, and numbers don't lie, but I mean, what about longevity? Road use, wear and
Yeah,
tear.
yeah.
I mean,
Like
it's a very good point.
this is what everyone does when they're searching up LS parts. What's the biggest, most power one I can get? I don't care what it does to my engine in 2 months. Nah, it's just everyone looks at that max power number.
Yeah, definitely. It's all a
And
numbers game.
I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, you don't. Like, I wanted to make good power when I put my cam in. But you also got to understand how's the drivability? What are you wanting to do with the vehicle? I think that's ultimately the number one thing that you should decide.
Yeah, I think it was. I think I talked to a handful of people. I'm wrapping up the third gen here, getting its turbos and everything put on, and I'm shooting for about 800 wheel, and I was asking a few questions like, okay, what would be the best intake? What would be the best heads? And a few people, I think especially Brian Kimball, was like, look, if you're making 800 wheel in that car, you need to focus on other things before you worry about picking up 20 horse on an intake, or if maybe like 40 horse in a set of heads. It's like if you're making that power, you have more concerns because you're right there on the cusp of braking stuff as far as like your drivetrain. I mean, those axles aren't going to handle anything. There's a lot to follow up on whenever you're making that amount of power.
I mean, I agree. I mean, look at my car. I've kind of took that route, and I ain't done everything I wanted to do yet. But the first thing I did was I got my rear suspension addressed because I know they're pretty shitty.
That is the nice thing that I like to see about your build, because it seems like the typical LS build here local is slapping LSA on a stock block, but I mean you're going you're going that extra mile to build your bottom end, stroke out your engine, get the most out of the block that you can. It's just nice to see that you're taking a more sound-minded route. Yeah, it's taking you much longer, and it's going to cost you a lot more money in the long run. I wouldn't even say the long run, really. It seems like it would cost more for the person who's probably going to blow up their LS3. But you're taking a lot more of a slower, more subtle way into a safer way, I would say.
Yeah, and I mean, pretty much it's like I said earlier. I think a lot of people need to understand, what do I want to do? And I know what I want to do. It's a street car. It's not a track car. I occasionally want to take it on NCM and maybe the drag strip once or twice in its life. And for that, a 416 with a LSA, yeah, it's high comp, but with E85 and low timing, it's going to make the power I want. And even when I run an NA, because I am running an NA for a while, it's still going to be a beast. So, I mean, even if I take the blower off in the future, I'm still going to love it. So, really, it just fits me. And people don't realize what they want's their problem, I think.
I think the problem is that they know what they want, but that what they know what they want is very vague. They want power, they want that big number, but they don't think any deeper than that. And it is.
That's a good way of putting it, because it's not like I'm putting it in a more vague way of saying it.
Yeah, and the people who I've talked to who are in the industry, as far as like have actually been in the industry for a significant amount of time, know what the number game is. They'll tell you, the most fun you'll ever have in a vehicle, as far as like, especially if you're a drag racer or maybe just a street car driver, if you just go to NCM one time and just tear up that like track, the course, you will immediately realize there's so much more to driving than just a horsepower number.
And you know what's funny is you can have the most fun in the world with a shit box. Like, something that you can push it to its limits, and you're not gonna care if something breaks. That's the most fun.
Yeah, that's why I'm really excited for that LS Swap Ford Ranger, because it's like he's got like probably double the amount of the value of that truck in the powertrain. Like, it's just cool to think about, and the power to weight becomes such a big thing in that situation too, because you got 500 wheel in a truck that he's trying to get under 3,000 pounds. I mean, that's insane.
Yeah, I like that.
I mean, like, it's kind of funny because we have the opposite ends of the spectrum there at my work amongst my coworkers, because we got this guy who's putting a 5.3 aluminum block in a Ford Ranger, and then we also have this guy who's in a $40,000 Chevy SS that's got a bored and stroked 427 in it. So it's kind of like the best of both. It's not really the best of both worlds, but it's like, God, I cannot imagine, like, I don't know. I just couldn't even imagine trying to drive a Chevy SS around a $40,000 car. I'd just be so worried somebody bump into it or do something to it, ding it up. And like, I'm just like, I'm going to take this Ranger out like mud bogging later on. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, believe me, when I get the C10 going, same thing.
Going to be wild.
It ain't, if it ain't got perfect paint and stuff already, why fret about it?
Yeah, I completely agree.
The Camaro, yeah, I'm gonna try and keep it clean, but C10, it's old. It's an old farm truck or something, man. I ain't that worried about it.
Yeah. Man, part of me just like, you're going to have this extra LS3 laying around. Part of me just almost wants to see you put it in your S10.
I don't know. It'd do better in something else. I'll put it like that, because I like S10s, but I'd rather swap something else.
It looked good in your dad's C10's what it would look good in.
Yeah. That's a tone.
Yeah, that's real unfortunate. I don't know. Part of me just wants to really mess with you and just put your 83 or 82 C10 on the trader and just have old dudes harass you all day long. Just be like, I'm selling it cheap. You need to call me today and make an offer.
Oh, my.
You'd have everybody on that radio calling you.
One owner.
One owner.
Lie about it.
Good wrench block.
It is. It is.
Oh, dude, that'll get them fired up. You'll have hillbillies coming out from underneath.
It's got a crate motor in it.
4-bolt main, crate motor.
It is.
Oh my God.
It might have been a 355.
Let's see. There was other than the Richard Holdner thing, I did want to. The more that I kind of like. It really does bug me that there's not enough E85 stations in Bowling Green. It's just like they would have such a monopoly if just one more place would open up on the other side of town. They have no idea how busy they'd be.
They'd be getting all the car guys on it, son. If
I know,
would
dude.
Open up by the racetrack, really. I mean, Speedway's far enough.
Well, yeah, and you would think so too, because the Shell that's near the racetrack, they have 110 at the pump. Like, how are you gonna have 110 and not E85? Like, how are you gonna justify that? Like, I understand, yeah, you probably do make a lot of money in sales by that 110.
It ain't 2002, buddy. It's time to get the move on.
Yeah, Boost likes E85, brother. Like, put that at the pump.
People been running these since like 2015.
I know, and even like modern cars, like my Dakota's got flex fuel. Like all these Fusions have flex fuel. Everything now has flex fuel, whether or not somebody would run it or not. But I mean, it's like I said in the last time. It's like I don't even know if I said it actually, but like whenever we pulled the valve cover off Jordan's block, oh my God, dude, it was like spotless from where you ran E85. It cleans everything up.
It's not just that; it's the
I mean, you do well maintain your car too, but I mean the E85 helps a lot. I heard it'll even
oil changes, man.
I heard it'll even help out a lot. Like if you haven't ran it for a while and like you have a lot of buildup in your engine and you do run it for like a few months, maybe not even that much time, it'll really help out a lot in cleaning up everything.
Yeah, I mean, people do that with older vehicles. They'll throw like I did with the S10 when I got it running. I had to put some premium in it because it helps out with that carbon buildup and just any sludge. It's better about it.
Yeah.
E85 though, it's straight alcohol, so when it burns, it cleans. It's a more pure fuel, I guess you could say. Because alcohol, you watch alcohol burn versus gasoline. Alcohol is cleaner. It's pretty easy to tell. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, E85, it's cheaper, and I know we're probably a lot of you guys aren't like, I wouldn't say tree huggers necessarily, but like, they're not very environmentally conscious, but, love it or hate it, you are helping out the environment by running E85. I mean, whether or not you care about that, it is better.
It's sure.
It's cheaper too.
Yeah.
It's just the best thing. I wish more places had E85 because you go to like the E85 app, it's just like there ain't nothing near us, man. It's just like Bowling Green and Smiths Grove, but you go like up north, like that's in Elizabethtown everywhere. It's in
Yeah.
Louisville everywhere. It's like, dang, give us some of that. Bowling Green's not a small town. I mean, I know it's not Louisville, but I mean, it's not. It's a big town. It's a big city, especially the Corvette Museum.
We're not allowed.
We're not
We must
allowed.
suffer.
We must suffer. I guess we could switch gears a little bit. I do want to get some of these Q&A questions knocked out on the gaming side because unfortunately they did get built up quite a bit here. So bear with me while I pull this up.
I got all the hot takes when it comes to gaming.
Oh, good. That's actually one of these questions. Okay. So let's see here. Okay, so I really like this question. What's your opinion on games with multiple endings? Do you think it adds value, replay value, or do you prefer the single, well-crafted narrative?
Nah, I like the multiple. Black Ops 2 had it right.
Yeah, I do too. And like, man, there's been a lot of games.
Imagine if Dead Island had multiple endings. That would be
so
cool.
I
one
find
ending, like you lose.
I find myself
two
too
good endings.
Like, especially Fallout's a prime example because you can do the like 3 or 4 different factions, and I mean, you spoiler alert, but I mean, you literally take out if you pick one faction, you have to kill one other faction. The other two are just kind of chilling. But yeah, that it's just cool to like you get all new dialogue, all new everything. It's just so amazing. Yeah, and Black Ops 2's prime like branching storyline. It's so unique. It was a first of its kind. It's amazing.
Yes.
Another person asked, with Black Ops 6 on the horizon, what do you guys think of the new movement as far as like the whole rolling around on your back and everything?
You know, I haven't played with it yet, so I can't speak too much. I like to see change in movement, though. I like things to get changed. I think, everyone hated EXO when it came out, but I loved it by the time Black Ops 3 was out. I was about it.
Man, part of me just hates to see the movement change, but I understand they got to do it to keep everything fresh and everything new. But it does kind of suck to see it, like, because they so badly want to go back to their roots, but it's really hard to do because there's such. I mean, we're talking like there's people that are 10 years younger than us playing COD now. Like they had no idea what that was like. I
wouldn't say they're trying to hold on to the past. I think they're trying to steer away from it. I think they know that every time it's something a little new, it statistically is going to do better, and they're going to follow that. I mean, it'll still be grassroots COD, like TDM, and I guess Warzone is like a staple now, so I don't see that ever really. I see Battle Royale staying.
Yeah, definitely. Battle Royale is like it's just like the new classic staple. It's like dang Minecraft of like now.
I mean, it's going to die off. I think it has quite a bit since it came out originally, but
it's very oversaturated.
Fortnite is still relevant. Apex is still pretty relevant.
I'd say PUBG kind of has definitely died off. I could be wrong though, but it don't seem like I hear many people.
It's not as active as it was.
I think Warzone kind of like whenever Warzone came out, everybody kind of just transitioned.
I mean, everyone played COD, so
yeah. I feel like there was 2 big Warzone games, and it was of course COD and Fortnite, and I feel like kind of Apex lost a lot of popularity in that time as well as PUBG. I feel like PUBG is. I mean, I feel like it's dead. I just never hear anybody playing it.
I wouldn't say Apex is dead. It's still pretty relevant.
But basically,
it's still a lot of people, but it's nowhere near the numbers any other are.
In my opinion, like the people who are still playing that game are the people that are always going to play that game. So it's not going to be any fun to play against those players because they're always going to just like dog walk you.
For the most part, it's pretty.
I mean, it's the same.
Like if you play it, it's fun though, man. I tell you, it is replayable. It is different.
I wish we could have been on same skill levels, or not even that, but just like closer
at the same time.
Yeah, because man, I do super well in my lobbies, and like me and you party up, and it's like, oh my god, I can like not even break like 100 damage.
I don't think I'm that good. I really don't.
You're pretty good.
I'm not that good at that game.
You're humble. There's been a huge resurgence of remasters and remakes lately. What do you think of the trend What do you think of this trend? Is it here to stay, or will gamers get tired of them eventually?
Oh, what's the newest remaster? I don't really remember, man.
So I randomly hopped on. This is kind of an awful game, but I grew up playing Crash Bandicoot, and
Oh yeah.
I seen it on Game Pass, and I was like, "Oh dang, they remade like the 3 Crash games," and man, it
Oh
was
yeah.
so different.
Well,
I don't
those are
know.
good.
I could they changed like a few cutscenes and like some of the story. I wasn't big. I was like, "Dang, come on, just do a flat out remaster. Don't be
They
changing stuff."
updated, really.
Yeah,
That's lame. Yeah.
because I watched a comparison on like the opening scene is completely different. I'm like, this feels icky. This don't feel nostalgic anymore.
Hmm.
But
Any other games? I really can't think of any. But as
there's
far
been
as
a
the question, I mean, I I think they're here to stay. I think new games come out and then they get old and people remaster them.
I feel like if the AAA games would do it, oh my god, it would be, man. Like just think if they like just. I mean, it don't even need it, but Battlefield 4, if they just like
Yeah.
if they just like found some way to make it like the new Battlefield game, like literally just re-uploaded the game and like started updating it. I don't know, man. God, you couldn't peel me off that game. Like
Man,
if
I
they,
tell you, that game I would be in every, like, I would start a YouTube. I would be about it.
it's the same thing with like, I mean, me and my coworkers were talking. If they did a standalone zombies game, just put all the zombies games on one like title. God, dude, that'd have to be the best selling COD game ever because everybody loves COD zombies.
Dude, that's a good idea.
I mean, that would be perfect. A standalone zombies games. There's enough like zombies games for there to be an entire game, like maps.
Yeah, for sure. Probably
I
like
mean,
what,
each Black Ops
100
had,
maps by now?
yeah, each Black Ops DLC had a zombies map, so that's like 4 to 5, maps per like COD. I mean, it's insane. Buried was amazing. I mean, there's a reason why they remade it on my Black Ops 4 because they're phenomenal. They just need to say screw it, make a standalone game. My opinion.
Hot take of the day.
Yeah, speaking of that, there was a question here. What are your most controversial gaming opinions? What do you think uh what do you think there are some loved games that are actually overrated? I think
Well,
I don't know.
loved games are overrated. I mean, I ain't even gonna say Fortnite. That's just easy.
Yeah.
Hmm. That man. Probably like I feel like newer CODs in Battlefield get overhyped.
Yeah.
I would say they're overhyped. They're not saying they're horrible, but I don't know. I don't see them in the same light I did older CODs.
The people that say like, play Battlefield 2042 at the start and then play it now and like act like it's some brand new game that's so much better. I'm just sitting here like it's not though. Like it still has the same annoying issues that we complained about to begin with. Like especially with like traversing the map, like that map with that big like dome like building in the middle. Like if you're running from one objective to the other, you're getting killed. Like you might as well not try. Like it's too open. I hate it. I still hate most of the maps in 2042, especially for like infantry. Like if you play vehicles, yeah, it's fun, it's cool, but like I just can't get into infantry as much as I can Battlefield 4. Battlefield 4 infantry was just a whole different ball game.
And you know what's crazy is Battlefield 4 infantry is nothing on Bad Company 2.
Yeah, I can't say nothing about that. Unfortunately, I never got to play Bad Company 2.
Vehicles were different too because they weren't as prevalent. Like when someone good was in them, don't get me wrong, but like they were a lot more powerful because they were harder to get.
Yeah. Same thing, dude. Like the jet. I mean, jets are still like that, but like I would say not so much in 2042. But God, there'd be people camping jets in Battlefield 4 and 3.
The heli too, man.
Yeah, the tac choppy. Oh God, now you can get the tac choppy anytime you want to. let's, let's see. Yeah, I don't necessarily have any hot takes other than that. I do want to. Okay,
You're
go
worse
for it.
than me in Rocket League. You suck.
Oh my God, not Rocket League hate. Okay, we got a GTA question here. I know GTA 6 is finally on the horizon. What do you hope to see in the next installment? Do you think they will need to improve What do you think they need to improve from GTA 5? And GTA 5, I didn't see any problems with it other than later on.
They need to improve with not as many microtransactions for money, make it more grind focused. I think they made it too easy to get money too. I think it should be a lot harder. Kind of incentivize you to play more.
Dude, we were grinding that game, like, with the vehicle importing and everything. I remember being up super, super late, like, doing heists, trying to transport high-value vehicles out, nobody messing with you.
What was it called to do all 10? Or not all 10, to get the 10, 12 million bonus? The
Mastermind?
Something Mastermind.
Yeah.
We don't even get me started.
God, that was rough.
Don't even get me started on that.
We were like one of the last setups.
I am still salty about that.
We could have been rich.
It was the very last setup.
One of the easiest ones too. Like we had that down pat.
I've never lost that one, and it wasn't my fault. I told. Look, I remember.
I did too. I remember like it was yesterday. God, it was like 5 a.m. We were all so done.
It was me, you, Logan, and Riley Shaw, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, the last setup of the heist for the final fight heist. And granted, we're doing the criminal mastermind, so we gotta not die in everyone in order with the same team. And I tell everyone the roles every time because I've done them every heist a million times. I was the heist man. Like, I knew it.
Homie was Lester's right hand man.
I literally was. I guided us to victory until I was disobeyed. Because don't say I didn't try. I was like, on the start of this mission, a helicopter spawns in very far away, and it will fuck you up if it gets one hit. And I know this. So every time at the start of the round, I always do it myself, and usually I can solo it. But not every time I can. Sometimes I mess up. And this time I did. But that's why I was like, let's have 2 guys on it just in case I mess up. Riley's the other guy helping me. I'm like, Riley, pull out your sniper, shoot this heli with me. He sees where I'm looking. He knows he's done it with me before. And he doesn't do it. And I'm like, Riley, help. It's coming. It's getting really close. And what makes me so mad is that this heli is inaccurate. But when it hits, just one hit, you're done. The AI sucks, but if it hits you, you're done.
Yeah.
And it flew over, and it got me. I'll never forget it.
You were so devastated.
I was done.
Take me back. Like that. Those days, man, those are so, like, we were so good back then. Like, we had matching armored insurgents. Like, God, we were a unit back then. Man, yeah, and it worked out so well. Like, every heist up until then went phenomenally. Everybody had a job. Everybody had a place. You stayed in your place. You did your job. And everything went flawlessly. Like, we stayed up.
The Top Gun mission is the hardest for some reason for people. And that was the one I was really worried about. And we nailed it. I was like, we're good.
Prison Break's pretty rough, too, because, I got to still... Yeah, I was the one staying in the sky the whole time.
That one is hard. That is one of the hardest.
And I mean, the very last one was the best. That was our one that we were best at because we did it so many times just to get regular money. It's just crazy that we failed on the last heist. The one we had done 1,000,000 times over. We had found every single kink. Man, that was right at Christmas time too. We stayed up so late. It was like Christmas break that year.
You know why I wanted the money?
Why?
What was it called? Intimidator or whatever? I don't remember.
All I remember is you got so mad that you bought shark cards. You're like, I got screwed out of this money. I'm buying shark cards. I don't even care.
I was mad. I had my own money. So I was like, fuck it, I'm buying it.
But it does suck because, me and you are the kind of people like try to get stuff legit and everything. And it just sucks to have. It
really irked me because I wanted the achievement.
Yeah, that too. I wonder how many people have that achievement.
I was not redoing.
It's almost like doing the dang bow, the phantom bow on Battlefield, just like having to have a set crew that's like ready to go in and get it done. But you didn't even have like friends to do that. You had to do that with randoms.
Yeah, I had to. I don't know if it's Discord or what, but I found a dude. That was so aggravating because I did it towards the end of its life, and then they just come out and say, "Oh, here you go, everyone. This thing that people worked months to get, here you go. You get a bow. You get a bow." It's like Oprah just giving them away.
Yeah,
Like,
and then you could just randomly pick them up on maps and have them forever.
no, you just spawn in with it, whatever. I had to go and get that shit. Phantom operation, man.
I do want to hit up this question because I have a pretty good throwback memory. Have you ever felt like a gaming community had a huge part in your experience with the game? Any specific fan communities that you would recommend getting a part of? I will say OG Arc whenever we were playing servers, like tribing up, like not even like tribing up, just having like allies like that are nearby you.
It was cool that you knew you had allies if shit went down.
Like it's almost like war almost. Like you have like neighboring countries that are like your allies, and like
dude, it was so good.
They watch your back while you're offline. You watch their back. Like man, that was so much fun. Like that's another era. Like just take me back. Like that original era in Arc. And I think whenever we did have like a serious alliance going on, I think we did eventually end up merging tribes, and it was kind of cool. But I think we ended up dying anyways right after that happening.
Yep, we did.
Another community that is, I've heard about it. I've heard DayZ. I've heard different things about DayZ. Like I've heard, like my coworker is super into it. He got like several thousand hours into it, and he's like, yeah, I'll hop on. He said, I'll join a group or whatever, and I'll take out like one guy and I'll just murder him, and I'll just slowly start to murder people and infiltrate there. I'm like, God, dude, you're horrible.
Yes, sir.
Like that's like some Walking Dead stuff right there, dude. Like that's some super villain.
Dude, it really is.
Some super villain stuff like right
Shane
there, dude.
Coming from the inside.
Yeah, coming from the inside. Let's see. I want to hit a few more before we jump off here. This is kind of an odd question. Do you think we'll ever reach the point to where physical game copies are obsolete and we go to like digital copies? Absolutely. I mean, I feel like we're super close to being there already. Yeah, and it sucks too because me and Trevor talk all the time. Which Trevor's, I think he's like 8 years older than us. So I mean, he remembers like standing in line for Modern Warfare 2, like at GameStop. Like he remembers those days, and it's just like, yeah. It kind of sucks that we don't really see that anymore, because I mean that built a community in and of itself. Like just like you meet new people. I mean, you're there with other enthusiasts.
I wish I could have been around that.
That's almost like a car community, but for gamers. It's like you're all there for one reason: you want to play Modern Warfare 2 as soon as midnight comes around.
Yeah. God, I could only imagine. I'd play. I'd get it early, but I'd never get it. Waiting.
Yeah.
It's just crazy to me to think that, man, times were different, like, yeah, during Christmas there's still the noobs, but it was just different back then, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's just nostalgia. I don't think the games were good, but the feeling is nostalgia for me.
Yeah, I agree with that. And it's just like, it's a sense of community. And it's like, I think of that era for us. And like, I just think of like Halo Reach, playing Forge mode maps, like staying up super late because, we'd have nothing going on because we were just little kids.
Yeah. Forge mode, man. I forgot.
Oh man, that was it. Like I would build
a hot take right there.
I would build some maps.
Gaming.
Oh, it was like community maps, Indiana Jones, like Cops and Robbers was my favorite.
Fat Boy.
I never did. I don't think I ever played that one. Yeah, School for sure. I really like Cops and Robbers, man. It was so much fun, dude. Oh man.
I remember we'd be playing School. I'd be like, "Hey, can I use the bathroom?" And I'd just take off every time.
Never see him again.
Yeah, I just run across the map. Teacher try and run me down. It's usually me and Cade Carpenter.
Oh my god.
Those were the days, man.
Those were the days.
Me, Cade, and Jacob. That was my first OG gaming crew.
And then
playing Halo. Hogue, Wyatt Moss, Cade, Jacob. Who else? There's more. There's just one random dude. I don't know where he came from, but we met him. He's older.
Yeah.
He's like 16, 17, and we were in middle school. I think I met him on End Up 2. I think he's from Australia. We talked for forever.
Yeah, me and Logan had a guy like that, but he was in like he was over the pond. He was in like somewhere around
Canada.
England. No.
Oh.
The pond. What?
I thought you meant the Great Lake.
No, the pond, like over the pond. The pond is the ocean. Yeah. Okay, so I have one more, and this is kind of relevant to the time right now. With Halloween on the cusp, is there any horror games that you guys find yourselves playing? I typically watch scary movies during this time, but I was wondering if any gamers played scary movies or played scary games. Sorry, not a gamer. Usually listen to the Cars topic. Love the show.
Sounds like you playing Dead Island.
Yeah.
Because that's a scary game to you back in the day.
Man, it's topical for me because I've been playing so much Phasmophobia. That game
That's a good game.
Have you? How much have you played?
Not a whole lot. I'll tell you my hours real quick.
Man, it's like I don't think I've played that. I don't think I have that many hours, but
I only got 3.
Oh, I probably have a little bit more than that. I've been doing like research on that game, and like I got 14 and a half.
I watch people play it. I know about it.
There's like I'm getting in deep. Like I know that if I can get certain pieces, like I think the last time that me and Trish played, we guessed the ghost without having an actual ghost event even happen. Like just because I gathered enough evidence. Because there's certain ghosts where, like, for example, if I throw salt on the ground and it don't step in it, I know it's a phantom because they're the only ones that can float. But for the people who don't know, this is like a game where you're a ghost hunter. And you go in and you have like I think 14 or 15 different pieces of evidence that or tools you use to try to gather evidence, and each ghost has 3 defining pieces of evidence. And as you like, we'll say that you throw salt on the ground, or no, that's not one of them. Let's say you have a video camera. If you see these things called ghost orbs, that's one of the evidence. You check that off, and it'll automatically narrow off the ghosts that don't have that feature about them. So it's man, it's so much fun. It's almost like playing like Scary Clue or not Clue. What's that game where you have to guess the murder or whatever, that board game? I can't remember. But yeah, it's just like a fun puzzle game that's insanely scary. Oh man, it's rough. It's so scary. I can't believe it's VR.
Castle Miner Z.
Castle Miner Z is a oddly scary game for some reason.
It was when I was a kid for no reason.
Like everything screams so like violently, and it's just like it's a hard game. It really is. Of course, Dead by Daylight's a kind of a horror game. No, I wouldn't really say it's super scary, but it's a go-to for me. It's fun to play.
I get scared playing Michael Myers on Modern Warfare.
Yeah,
with my friends.
I would say if you're looking to play a scary game this Halloween season, I would look for Dead by Daylight because it is on the Game Pass. It's a lot of fun. It's still very active, even though it's been out forever. Phasmophobia was on the Game Pass for a long time, but it's not now. And it is crossplay, so if you got buddies that are on... Huh?
What was the one... I thought I had it on PC, but I'm not seeing it. You went to the insane asylum and you had the camcorder.
Outlast?
Yeah, Outlast. God,
yeah.
That is a good one.
Yeah, I wouldn't play. I think I played it back in high school, like for a little bit. And I'm like,
I got on one level and I just could not beat it. I couldn't find it.
God, that game's horrifying.
Like, I'm done.
Yeah, I think Outlast.
I got like halfway through it.
See, that's my thing. I like watching other people play scary games, like Markiplier. I love watching him play like that new, or it's not really new, but it was several years ago. The one where you're a mortician or whatever. It's a horror game. That's fun to watch.
I haven't seen it.
He has one. I think it was a few years ago. It's like you're in a hotel and the hotel manager. You gotta find out basically what happened here because the hotel manager and his family are like, he's alive, but the rest of his family is dead, and they all died in the hotel. And you like, it seems like he's the murderer, but I don't think in the end he is. And you got to use this like spirit box to try to talk to the ghosts and find out the story on what actually happened. So that reminds me too. I don't know if you've ever messed with the spirit box on Phaz, but basically the best way to get a talk to on the spirit box is to go to the ghost's room and lock yourself in there with the lights off by yourself, and you talk to it, and the game picks up on your talking.
Yeah.
So I'd used it but never got a response. So I was in there and I was like, "Hey, are you there?" And the ghost goes, "Hey, get out." I'm like, "Oh God." And in that game, whenever the ghost is like hunting, which means it can like kill you, it locks the front door. So it's like, and I'm the worst at hiding. I know, like, I think it was one of the first times I was like being hunted. I freaked out. Like, I don't even hide. I just freeze on the ground, and I didn't know the front door got locked, and it was hunting, and I was at the front door, and I just yelled, "Liberal, come!" It killed me.
I can imagine you in that.
And my buddy I was playing with, he's like, "Yeah, a good way to not die is yelling 'Liberal, come!' at the front door." Oh, one other thing that happened, I don't know, my wife's there next to me, I'm hoping she can't hear me, but whenever you're spectating, you're a ghost, of course, but not one that can interact with people, but you are one that can interact with the environment. And she was hiding in the corner, like, afraid to move, and she was the only one alive, and I kept just bringing, like, dishes and stuff and throwing them in front of her, and she thought it was the ghost. She's like, "I don't know what to do, this ghost keeps bringing me dishes." Oh, it was so much fun. But yeah, I would highly recommend that game, especially it being crossplay. Like, I feel like if Gunner or somebody else would get it, that would encourage you enough to get back on. Man, I love that game.
Crossplay just needs to be, like on so many games now.
Yeah, with it, yeah. But yeah, that's really all I've got. I'm just glad that we're back on here. Hopefully we can get back in a rhythm, and let's see. Will next time be our Halloween episode? No, it will not. Got a couple before that. But I do want to tell you guys we're hopefully, and this kind of subject to change, we're both very, very busy. But we're going to try to do another You Laugh, You Lose, but Thanksgiving edition. That's the whole reason we did the original one, to see how it went. It seems like you guys really, really enjoyed that. I was really happy to see the feedback we got on that. A lot of people were like dying about you eating the mashed potatoes.
Dude, I can still taste that. I literally just touched my tongue to it, and I remember, nah. It was worse than a lemon head.
It wasn't even meant to be. Well, yeah, they were meant to be sour. I was trying to think. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I'd fuck her up.
Like a warhead.
I literally could not keep that in my mouth if I tried. I would just reflexively spit it out.
Yeah. But yeah, we're gonna try to do that for Thanksgiving. We both kind of got slammed towards the end of the month here, so. But if we don't do it this year, we might make it up to you guys for like a Christmas dinner special or something whenever the car scene and everything kind of cools down a little bit. And we're wrapping up car season here. It's getting pretty hectic. And with your car being tore up, and I've got some kind of stuff going on behind the scenes too. It's going to be pretty hectic for both of us for the next few weeks. So I do apologize in advance if we don't get to that, but just keep that in mind. You're going to have to bear with us on that. So I guess that's all I have for this episode. I appreciate you guys for staying tuned in and bearing with us on the times we miss, the times that Jordan's not here, times I'm not here. But with that being said, guys, I appreciate you guys so much, and I guess we will talk to you guys next week.
Beavis.